All right. This is what I have to say. Um, a lot of what's going on lately in the past couple years, and have to be careful of what I say because this cancel culture they call it now, be politically correct. But what it is censorship. It's censorship, and the truth goes against community standards. Anywho, so I'm trying to keep this around about. What people don't understand what's going on is strict uh, psychological warfare, okay? Now, not saying there isn't some physical component to what's been going on, like people getting sick. Not to say there isn't some physical component as well. There's a lot more going on that people don't know. And they're not going to tell you this, okay? And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know because I don't know. But what I do know, I'm going to tell you. And you look at patterns I look at for one, and you look at other things, and there's things right online that you can research, okay? And we'll start with government patents, like weather modification. Everybody thinks is a hootenanny. And it's conspiracy theory. Uh-oh, someone's going to get in a wreck out there, but conspiracy theory. But they have a patent on weather modification, okay? They have many, many patents that are available online that anyone can research and look up. Now, there was many experiments conducted on humans in the 50s and 60s, and especially in our Kirkbride asylums, in around that time, okay? There were a lot of experiments conducted, and like the Stanford prison experiment is a big one. Now, I couldn't tell you exactly what. I couldn't tell you, but all I know is this. Do you think the government did all these experiments for shits and giggles? Do you think the government really did all those experiments because they had nothing better to do with their time? No. They did it. They experimented. They moved it from Nazi Germany over here, and they kept up the experiments. And at least now they're probably still experimenting in some ways. I bet. If you look at history and the pattern, you think they changed much? Probably not. But anywho, let's say they quit. Well, I think they've gotten all their information. I mean, in the 50s and 60s, I'm telling you, unethical human experimentation is what you want to look up. And they did this. And like I said, they didn't do it for shits and giggles, people. They didn't do it because they're bored. They did this because they did the research, they collected the data, and now they are applying it. Or they're still researching it. And they'll apply it later. Now, and I don't, and this is a conspiracy theory, but well, it doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory. I'm just stating facts. And I'm not going to tell you that it's what's going on because I really don't know. But all I know is if you look at things, right, it just doesn't make sense. How many times have they changed their narrative about what was going on? They changed it. Well, do this. Okay, everybody did that. And then it was still the same, and it got worse. And then, do that. Okay. And then you have to go through this, and this. And, and here's the other thing, like Biden was just talking about he wants everybody vaccinated. And it's like, okay, I can understand how the people that are vaccinated, but how do you know who isn't vaccinated? We just had the census lately, right? I don't know. I'm not going to say I know anything, but all I'm going to say is these are the things you need to look at. It's like a connect the dot puzzle, people. If you focus on one dot, you ain't going to see the bigger picture. You got to connect all those dots. And it's all connected. And yeah, I might sound like a crazy man, but if you research all those things that I was talking about, you'll start seeing it. And right now, I think people are really starting to see a lot of this more and more, and it scares me. And I'm going to tell you, man, years ago, I talked to an older lady. I was working, but she says, I want to talk to you. And her daughter said, no, he doesn't have time. Yeah, she was like 70, 80. And she was from over in like Ukraine or Poland or something like that. And she had dealt with something similar. She's just like, but she just told me, she said, I don't like what's going on in this country. And it's like 10 years ago. And I seen it too. It was like pre-Nazi Germany. And I told her that. And she had to flee from wherever she was at. So there's a lot of things going on, people, and we really need to pay attention, and we really need to stand up, okay? Instead of fighting each other about masks, not wearing them or not being vaccinated, we really need to pay attention because it's almost right at our doorstep, people. It's pretty close to our doorstep, and if you don't want to see it, then I'm really sorry, but I try to tell you.